Communication skills are crucial to any person's success. But why, you ask? Imagine that you and a person of a different nation stand in front of each other. If you both have a common language, then you will be able to communicate your purpose of meeting him. But if you don't, both of you will be lost in your circumstance. The only other option is to start using your body to try to make some signs that are universal. But humans are not the smartest animal on earth. Alright, an octopus is much smarter, and so is a dolphin. But what makes us superior is the technology of language and the ability to communicate our intentions. Without that, we will be like the cavemen, only defending themselves, not collaborating with each other. So now that we have moved on from being just an animal to an intelligent one, why do we still have problems communicating? Well, communication simply means the imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. This means that just like a teacher needs to learn how to impart information, we need to learn how to exchange information. We have been taught the meaning and format of language, but not the tact. So today we will learn what communication actually involves. We know that we can't just scream into a void to say what we want to. In order for your words to be of any use, someone has to listen to them. This means communication has two main parties, the speaker and the listener. So if a speaker speaks without listening, he is doing the equivalent of screaming in a pillow. His words are not being heard. Would you listen to someone that doesn't let you speak? Hence, the first step to being a good communicator is to listen carefully. In a presentation, the listening will be done by researching what the people want. By listening to their concerns, you will be able to format a solution for them. So if your presentation is unrelated to them, why will they pay attention? You might as well put dolls in the room because the people have no use for your information. Therefore, speak because you must, not because you like. So listen to the questions and then answer them. The best statement in the world won't serve you any points if it doesn't apply. Your audience will focus if you do. And remember the third law of motions. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you are inconsiderate, your audience will not reciprocate in any other way. It is just physics. So once you have realized that you are not a speaker until you become a listener, your foundation will become strong. You will understand that you need to find as much information as you can before creating a mind-blowing presentation. And you need to know their minds to blow it. The next step will be to understand that everyone doesn't spend their time in the same way. So if you are into Star Trek, well, you will know a lot about it, but does your audience also watch as much Star Trek? If yes, use that context liberally. But if not, please don't make references to it. It means nothing to the most of us. So your point gets lost and you lost us. Hence, empathize with your audience and find examples relevant to all of us. Next up, definitions. This one is especially important. So when you use words that have a definition, you must know that these words mean something to someone and something to someone else. So understand this conflict and clarify what you mean by that word exactly. For example, the word racism can mean Ku Klux Klan to some people, and some other might view it as discrimination based on your skin. But remember that when you use that word, these images pop up in the mind of the listener. So you might have been referring to an incident where a person didn't receive education based on his color, and the audience might think of lynching episodes. And that is a major divide in ideas, and you must specify what you exactly mean. Because controversial words especially should be handled with care and caution. Finally, be concise and precise. So don't take a chance with hurrying up your speech with words you hadn't had to think about. Keep in mind that you are delivering your own thoughts. So if you take a chance with words that you don't actually know, it can cost you a very heavy price. Every word means something, and most of us are acquainted with them. Hence, during the presentation, if you include a statement that you didn't precisely think of, we will know and your presentation would fail. So to avoid this mishap, be short but completely certain. If your presentation is much shorter than the time allotted, but you are confident with every word you have formulated, it will do much better than a long but uncertain speech. Communication in tech-savvy terms is like receiving a code, deciphering it, and de-responding it to the base on the programs we have learned. So in regular language, communication is listening to the words, which are code, deciphering them, which means to understand what the word means, and then responding to it based on what we think, which comes to how we grew up. And this is how simple communication really is. And it is fun too. But to play this game efficiently, you must know how the code works, meaning how is the language made. In the next chapter, we will move on the basics of using a language to your best advantage. It will not only improve the way you use your word, but also helps you formulate your message in the clearest way. But remember, the first rule of communication is to listen before you speak. Without this rule, all rules will fail. So love your ears more than your mouth, because your ears will help you fetch that cake.